In one of your episodes, you mentioned the difference between conscious, subconscious, and superconscious. Could you share what is the difference between all three of them?
It's interesting because I was reading about triangle theory as well before I came, and it's the same. It's different. It's not about relationships and external world and inner world. It's more about you said it, the subconscious, the conscious, and the superconscious. So here's the deal: if 95% of the choices we make are either made by the subconscious or ruled by the subconscious, that means we've got 5% of conscious choices with which to navigate life. And the rest of the time, and most of the time when we make a conscious choice, the subconscious will overrule it, right? Think of all those New Year's resolutions that have been dropped or forsaken. So the subconscious is an archive that is usually full by the time we're 7 or 8 years old, and is a database of systems that were coping systems that were devised at a time that we did react, that we were fearful or traumatized. And to re-access the subconscious is really a difficult thing. There are only 3 or 4 ways that you can do it. Things like impact, an accident could reinform the subconscious, an extreme authority like a kidnapping, the Stockholm syndrome, or a dictatorial government like what's been happening in the Middle East recently. Things like that can reinform the subconscious. And these are usually the negative ways it could be reinformed. There are other ways too, and repetition is one. And in hypnotherapy, we use repetition a lot. Those of you who are hypnotherapists know that. It's perfectly okay to keep using the same word. It really helps widen the access route to the subconscious. Breathing is
And
repetitive. We're
sorry,
consciously and constantly choosing to come back to it. And when we do that, when we use our conscious mind to repeat a breathing practice, we soften the walls of the subconscious. We also bring in the superconscious, and I believe this to be true. It's an assertion. For me, it's a fact, but it's also referred to in every religious document as a supernatural force, the breath, that breath on I think it was Muhammad's mother's chest, from which Muhammad was born. It's referred to in many different documents as a supernatural power. Let's call it the superconscious, if you will, the highest part of human awareness and beyond. So if we have those 3 in the same space, and I kind of see it as an alignment. If I'm here consciously breathing, especially a connected breath, and I'm accessing my subconscious and I'm opening my awareness to that which is most subtle, then in that moment of alignment, something happens. And it's not contributed to by our wish or our desire or our expectation. In fact, all of those things push it away. It's really about presence. It's a quality of presence that we give, and we give attention to something without needing it to change. And those are some of the precursors of what we might refer to as miracles, is that if we can create that alignment, which might be one moment in a breathwork session, or it might be a few minutes in a breathwork session, there's a whole reset that's going on. The subconscious is not just getting reinformed by my conscious will, but it's also getting reinformed by a power that's greater than I am. And so it comes down to a possibility here, which is if we are willing to believe that there's a power that's greater than we are, then we can arrange it so that power helps us. And correspondingly, if you don't believe in a higher power, how can it help you? So there's a kind of fearless, easy access route to finding out, which is just to try it.
When sort of connecting that conscious and subconscious mind, is your sort of heart and brain sort of having a coherence there?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm in New York this week, and I'm about to go meet some young people who are developing earbuds that will actually do an EKG. And so I'm going to be going on their machine because they have a full EKG system there. And we're going to do some breath tests with them to see what happens. But generally, what we see is it's not just nervous system regulation. It's also right-left brain balance, perceptive change. There's been a study done concluded in the last 10 or 12 weeks at Sussex University about altered states of consciousness and breath work. And now the scientists are kind of catching up with what in the breathwork world we've known for some time, where it gives us a different perspective. I liken it to discovering that, my whole life I've been looking at one side of the coin, and now I get a chance to go around the other side and have a look. And it's always about amplitude. It's always about a larger perspective. It's always about, therefore, whatever I think has been troubling me is actually not as big a deal as I thought it was. So it's helpful. And a lot of my work, especially because I'm an elder in this space right now, a lot of my work is done with the hope that we actually don't need these midlife crises or quarter-life crises. And by prearranging ourselves and by doing the work preventatively, that we can meet those moments with a sense of calm and wisdom and irony and all of those things that they really help. They help us.